The overwhelming majority of Republicans, they love their families, they love this country, they're good and decent people doing all kinds of good things. But what is true is that what is true is that over the last 8, 10, depending on however long you want to say, if you've been only about obstruction, if in order to score political points, you tell your voter base crazy stuff, like, I wasn't born here, or that, I'm a Muslim, or that, well, it's just a long list. And you just repeat it over and over again. All right, and so that your only agenda is negative. And you just make up facts. So if 99% of scientists say, the planet's getting warmer and this is something you should worry about, and then you bring a snowball into the Senate chambers and say it was snowing outside, so you must be wrong, using that as evidence to dispute scientists, that over time what happens is that you produce a nominee who's all about obstruction and insults and makes up his own facts. Now, I don't think that's how the majority of Republicans think, but this is the habits that you get into that create this kind of nominee. And now you find a situation in which the guy says stuff that nobody would find tolerable if they were applying for a job at 7-Eleven. Or I don't know what job, if you were kind of vetting somebody for a job and then you heard what somebody said on tape about women, set aside what they were saying about that stuff, that you would hire that person for that job. And the fact that now you've got people saying, well, we strongly disapprove. We really disagree. We find those comments disgusting. But we're still endorsing him. We still think he should be president. That doesn't make sense to me. Now, I hear then some people saying, well, I'm a Christian and so I'm all about forgiveness because nobody's perfect. Well, that is true. I'm certainly not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And I too believe in forgiveness and redemption, but that doesn't mean I'm going to elect the person president. If somebody does something terrible or shows themselves to be unqualified for an office, I can forgive them, I suppose, if they're sincere about it, but I don't want them necessarily leading the country, right? So you can't have it both ways here. You can't repeatedly denounce what is said by someone and then say, but I'm still going to endorse them to be the most powerful person on the planet and to put them in charge. So I just wanted to make that point because there are still a number of Republican elected officials, some of whom I know and I'm sure are embarrassed and say, wow, that was a really terrible thing he said, but they can't bring themselves to say, I can't endorse this guy. And by the way, why did it take so long for some of them to finally do walk away? I mean, we saw this coming. He's been saying really bad stuff for a while now. What did you think? He was just gonna transform himself? I mean, I'm 55, and it's hard for me to change. I know at 70 it's gonna be harder. Anyway, I wanted to make that point.